Welcome to our module on teaching uppercase letter formation. Let's get started. When introducing letter formation, uppercase letters are taught first. There are a few reasons why we start with uppercase letters. Formation of these letters use the pre-printing lines, including vertical, horizontal, circle, cross, and slanted lines. Uppercase letters occupy the same height and vertical space. They all start at the top. They are easy to recognize and identify and are frequently used in the community in signs such as stop or exit. And most children find them to be very familiar. Regardless of what printing program you decide to use, it is important to remember that children learn to print in a sequence. A child's natural sequence of learning is as follows. Stage 1, imitate. The child watches as the adult writes and then imitates them. Showing your child how to form a letter is important to help your child learn to form the letter in the same way each time. Stage 2, copy. Once a child learns the motor pattern of a letter, they will be able to copy it from a model. And stage 3, write. The child writes unassisted without demonstration or a model. Learning Without Tears, previously known as Handwriting Without Tears, is a commonly used program among occupational therapists. It teaches letters in groups that are formed similarly, known as motor groups. This program utilizes a multisensory approach to teach letters using simple concepts of big line, and big curve, little curve. Uppercase letters can be broken down into 4 motor groups based on how they are formed. The first are the vertical and horizontal strokes. Second, circles. Third, big and little curves. And fourth, diagonal strokes. This slide shows an example of using Learning Without Tears straight line pieces to create letter F using 3 separate lines. Verbal prompts for forming letter F are as follows. Big line down, little line across, little line across. Multisensory activities reinforce letter and number recognition and help to make motor formation patterns more automatic. Offering different learning opportunities not only reinforces concepts, it also provides new and fun activities to keep your child engaged. During these activities, emphasize the correct way to form a letter, where to start, and in which direction to move. There are many different multisensory teaching tools that you can use when working on printing skills. These include Wet, Dry, Try from the Learning Without Tears program, where the child uses chalk to write a letter on a rectangular chalkboard. Then they use a wet sponge to erase the letter by tracing over what they have written. There are squishy bags, which can be made by adding paint or shaving cream to a large Ziploc bag. Then the child is encouraged to form the letters with a finger or Q-tip on the outside of the bag. There's air writing, where the child uses their index finger to write the letters in the air. They can form letters using their index finger on a tray of sand, rice, shaving cream, or salt. They can trace textured letters or form letters using Play-Doh or other manipulatives. Using verbal cues helps to reinforce letter formation and correct orientation. Teach important position words like top, middle, and bottom, and demonstrate their meaning. This will help children understand verbal cues. You can also work on teaching these position words during play with your child. When writing letters with your child, emphasize characteristics of each letter, such as line, slant, and curve. There are different verbal cues that you can use with your child. Pick whichever cue works best, but be consistent with your language. For example, L can be cued as big line down, little line across the bottom. Another strategy to support letter formation is the use of visual cues. Visual cues are used to model correct formation and can include using stickers or dots at the starting point of a letter. These strategies should be faded as your child's skills improve. When starting to print letters, it can be helpful to start with boxes instead of starting on lined paper. The use of boxes encourages consistent sizing and spacing. You can also put a visual cue in the corner to encourage top-down letter formation. Boxes act as a precursor to lines, as your child has a defined space in which to form their letter. As your child develops their printing skill, this visual support can be faded by reducing the size of the box. Eventually, your child may be able to write letters using graph paper or simple lined paper. Thank you for viewing our uppercase formation module. For more information, please refer to the resources listed on this slide or speak to your child's occupational therapist.